Hello, good morning, and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do get the hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, comment, and all of those really great things. Okay. I wanted to talk about BG. This is Turk, and I was there when Turk went to jail, was arrested years back in Memphis. I remember exactly what happened, and even when he was down in the jail, um, when I transferred over to the sheriff's office, he was still down there in the jail. Okay. I've been paying close attention to, what has been happening, and this is just my perspective as a woman, okay? I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it. I look at Turk videos quite a bit. I'm a very big fan of BG's music. BG kind of grew on me because I remember when the Hot Boys was definitely my era. And I have to say, a Juvenile was my favorite and Lil Wayne was my favorite. Um, I listened to Turk's music also, um, but I didn't at that time. I don't know if Turk was in and out of jail. I'm talking about around Louisiana. I don't know, but I think Wayne and Juvenile were the two that was pushed out front for whatever reasons. I think they said BG was at first in the beginning. BG was my least favorite. I didn't his sound was my not my I didn't like his voice, right? That bling bling, I think that was his song, bling bling. I think that was BG's song. I don't know if I really care for it, but BG has really grown on me because I'm a really big fan of his sound now. I am. You know what? I think when BG I fell in love with BG's song when he had the group with VL Mike in it. I still like that song "Make 'Em Mad." That David Banner beat was off of the chain. Y'all know that's when music was real good. And I kind of like what BG is doing now because even like the music that he does now, it reminds you of when, even though he has some up to date sounds, he still kind of take you back to when music was really good. So he's grown on me. I love what he's doing. I love his music because he really just turn up YB Fat. What's his name? Y Fat Moneybag Yo's artist. He did a remix of his song that Get Back is a MF. Oh my God, BG turn that up, okay? So now I'm a fan of BG's, and when BG got out, I was really rooting for him. I saw where he was going and I'm sure he had to do it per his parole officers and get going out helping the community, getting his certificates, going to graduations, and just staying in the studio because almost 13 years is a long time, right? And I remember when, hey, Turk said he did 8 years and 8 months. It just so happens that I was working for both police departments when he started, and I was there when it ended because I think they ended up transferring Turk from out of 201 Poplar to another facility before it was all over. I'm almost sure of that because I believe that Turk, when he was there, for the most part, he was majority down in the lower level, right? But as far as what I see, hey, Turk and BG and them all kind of grew up together. And I think BG needs to remember when he first got out, I think BG was trying to find his way, figure out, people were already pulling on him. And I'm not talking about Turk, I'm talking about other people. I saw where because it seems like he was not responding, folks was viciously going at him. That's what people do. That's how people do you when you don't respond how you want them to respond or as fast as they want you to respond. It seems like to me that some of these same people kind of throwing BG to the dogs. Who we gonna sign with, who we gonna get with, and then all of this bad publicity. I know how media works was being put out about him, and then all of a sudden, he was violated and all of that. This is the type of stuff that they do. I don't believe that it was a coincidence, right? And I don't believe that Turk had anything to do with that. Folks were saying he was a rat and this and that. And I was like, dog, the man just got out of jail. He got to get himself together. Why are people already looking at him as a lick, pulling on him, looking at him as a dollar sign? Let the man get himself together, right? And so I think BG, because people soon they forget a lot of those people that was going at BG, it was not Turk, right? I think what ended up happening was, they were saying that Turk had said, I went back and listened to it, that Turk had let I can't think of his name, the heavyset guy from out of California, call him a rat. Okay, I went back and I listened to that last night when I had time. And I think Whack is Whack 100. He kind of slid that in. I don't even know, because Turk was talking. I don't even know if Turk really heard him. He was like, you did what BG should have did. BG ain't no rat. BG almost did all of his time. I don't think BG ratted on nobody, and so sometimes you could be thinking and going so fast, you don't even hear people. You know how people go, yeah, because they be thinking, you know what I mean? Mind and mouth and mind moving a mile a minute. I don't even know if he really digested what he was saying at that point, because he was like, yeah, he's kind of snuck that in, right? He said, yeah, BG did, and it was to cause a lot of confusion. You did what BG should have did. He was like, right, and he went right on to the next thing, right? I think it also was because he didn't want to address it, right? I'm moving on. I just think he didn't want to address it, and I don't. Turk was just pulled into something. I don't think this is how I analyze it. I don't think that he was going at BG. I don't think that he was calling BG a rat. I mean, just from what I heard. Somebody else might see it differently, but that's just what I heard. Okay, I wish I could pull it up, right? I'm sure everybody has heard it. I don't have time to pull it up, but that's just from what I can analyze, right? I don't think that he was calling BG a rat or anything like that. I do feel like now, I see Turk is trying to stay positive. I see the same people doing to Turk what they did to TTE Naughty. I'm like, wow, like we're so in the business of just tearing each other down, right? Turk has a family, and I don't know Turk. I've never met him or anything like that. Okay, and I am a fan of BG's, but Turk has a family. I see where he's trying to stay positive. And what pisses me off with Black people, when they see that a person is trying to stay positive and strong and they're not begging, they just keep bamming at them. Okay, until we break you, until we make you crawl like we want you to. And a lot of them bitches gonna end up dead. That's the reason why you see a lot of folks when they're on their lives, they end up either violating and going back to jail. They end up croaking out, okay, or they can't catch a break in their life because he playing strong, and we're gonna break him down to what I want to break him down to, because they have put themselves in a position of God. That man has a damn family. I think if all of this extra stuff was taken out of the game, okay, it's okay to say, well, you know what? Hey, I don't. I think Turk was wrong for that. Maybe Turk shouldn't have said that, but they was moving so fast. Wack kind of slid that in, right? I kind of think Turk just didn't really want to deal with that, right? Um, or maybe he didn't. He said right before he knew it, not knowing that Wack was really setting him up. Okay, but I don't think it's. I don't think that it's nothing that he and BG can't talk out, right? If all of this extra stuff was not thrown in the middle of it, I think it could be. I think it can be worked out. Now, I don't look at Terrence Gangster Williams a whole lot, but I was looking at him one day where he was saying, and I think he's telling the truth about this, that as long as Birdman is mad at BG, I mean mad at Turk, unfortunately, BG might feel like he need Birdman at this point. He's being forced to take a side because It seems like to me when BG first got out, it seems like to me there was some confusion with him Birdman because he wasn't moving as fast as Birdman wanted. He didn't know what he was gonna do. I thought BG wanted to go do his own thing, and from what I can remember, I could be wrong. Birdman started throwing shit in the game, maybe from behind the scenes to make him uncomfortable. Because he wasn't kind of moving how he wanted him to move. I mean, that's kind of what I picked up on. But I do believe, Gangster, when he says that um, BG is acting a certain way because he's kind of feeling like he needs to take the side of Birdman. Okay, and I don't think that that's cool. I think BG needs to rethink that, but I also think they need to leave Turk alone. Turk has a family. Turk is a human being. He's still talented. He still has a talent. That man has to feed his family. Why consistently try to beat him down because it's popular at this point to do that, right? Is you can make money off of doing it and also causing division because you don't want nobody to be strong. Turk seems to have a pretty strong mind, right? And oftentimes people don't like you when your mind is strong, okay? And it seems like to me they're trying to beat him into submission, and you sure have to reap what you sow. I think people forget that you sure gonna reap if there's any malice because of the strength of his mind and he's not submitting and he has children, he's a man and he's letting them know I have to stay strong. I'm not saying that Turk is right. I'm sure it was wrong on both ends. What I'm saying is you got a bunch of people that for some reason is trying to cause division, and when people are trying to cause division, it is for a reason, right? It is definitely for a reason when they try to keep two people isolated from each other, right? But I don't see hey, why Turk and BG can't talk it out at some point, and maybe they will when BG has the opportunity to sit down and he could sit down and listen. I didn't like this, I didn't like that. Um, hey, I don't appreciate that. I feel this way because if I'm not mistaken, I'm almost sure that when Turk was in jail, I remember some of the jailers saying that BG done pulled up on him and came to see him. I'm almost sure they said that, right? It was BG and a lot of other dudes that was around BG that pulled up on Turk and came to visitations down at the Shelby County Jail. I'm almost sure of that it was BG that did that. At that time, I don't think BG was not in jail. I'm almost sure that it was him. They said that it was him. So I mean, I hope that they can work this out. They came up together. They've gone through a whole lot together. And what people need to do, I would think that as folks got older, because we're all getting older, people would start trying to get their lives in order. I don't know if they believe in a higher entity, but they ought to be trying to get their damn lives together so they can go on, when they croak out, they can go on and go to something, ascend to something higher instead of consistently descending, right? Um, and stop causing confusion and feel like, well, if you don't do what we want you to do, we're going to continuously break you down, right? And put in other artists in a position, because that's what they're trying to do. If Juvenile want to mess with Turk, if Lil Wayne or whatever want to mess with Turk, we'll start slighting them a certain way, and that's going to cause them to pull back from Turk. But if he's a hot boy, you really can't do it. I mean, without him, evidently he was official enough to be in the group. You can't. That's what people remember. You can't just subtract him like that, right? I let the man make his money and leave him alone, right? I remember the night that Turk. Now I was working for the police department. The night that Turk was arrested, and I think the when he came, it was the sheriff's office that broke into the house. At that time, I look at Turk. I'm happy that he has come a long way. I do believe at that time, Turk was on some type of paraphernalia. I believe it was heroin. Okay, I was working MPD that night. I was working up there, and I would have taken this statement, but I was getting ready to clock. My time was I was ready to go, and so a guy named Cliff ended up typing his statement. That was at the time that I was a typist, a transcriptionist, right? And Turk was so out of it. I don't even know how it was legal for them to even take a statement, because I can remember before I left, they was walking Turk up and down the hall by homicides. They had to keep walking him because he was such in a bad way because of whatever drug that he was on, right? He was shaking and all of that. And I'm just saying, from being under the influence. And I think he talks about that. So I remember that, the shaking, he was they was having to let him lay out. I don't even know if he remembered that. And all of that, I would think that that statement probably should have been thrown out. Might be the reason why a lot of it was thrown out, because you're not even supposed to even try to get a statement from someone when they are tweaking and under the influence like that, right? And I think he was under the influence of heroin, right? So they kept walking him and stuff, up and down the hall, because they couldn't really make any sense of him. He ain't snitched on nothing. He ain't snitched. Turk went to and did his time. And then because they tried to charge him with shooting a police officer, and I believe it was found to be friendly fire. I think they came up with that conclusion early on. So I'm glad. I don't know who was paying for his lawyers, but I'm glad that that was found out pretty early on and thrown out, because I do believe, if my memory serves me correctly, they tried to charge him with shooting a deputy sheriff, right? And Turk was in the closet, and the deputy sheriff was hit, and they tried to say that he was shooting from the closet, when the fact of the matter is, I believe when the police broke into the house, he hid into the closet, right? And it was friendly fire, and they wanted to try to put it up on him. And I do believe that that was thrown out. I don't know that one of my friends, her name, he probably remembers her because she loved him when she was working there. I won't say her name. I was going to say her name, but she's still there. When she was working down in lower level, she spoke about how, he was very positive. She would let him talk to her son, and he would tell the son, do right by your mama, this and that. And she said her son remembers that to this day, right? I think they showed him a lot of favoritism, gave him food and shit, okay, because they loved him. Okay, I guess he had that type of charisma. But I remember that because I remember from at the time I was working MPD. Okay, I was working in felony response. He came in, and then they brought him in, and then by the time I got over to the sheriff's office, he was in the jail, I guess, waiting to go to trial or something like that, because they normally hold you in their facility, right, until the 201 is a holding facility while you're going to court until you're sentenced, right? And I remember they were saying that when they got ready to transfer him or something, they transferred him before it was time, and he cussed the chief out like he was a damn dog, okay, Chief Moore. So I remember that stuff. And I do remember one of the jailers saying that I believe they said it was BG that came through visitations. It was BG with a whole lot of other dudes that came to see Turk. Okay. I do believe that they said that it was BG. So I hope that they can work this out. This relationship, these dudes, I guess I want to say they've been knowing each other since they were children. I think what the older people need to do is step back. It's a lot of egos involved, because I don't think Turk is bowing down to a lot of them like they feel like he should, and they're consistently trying to break the man. They're weaponizing BG, because BG at this point, folks want to see what he got to offer. He's the bag. So what they're doing is they're weaponizing BG and using him. And of course, BG trying to get his life back on track. He's still really institutionalized. So what they're doing to him ain't right either, right? BG and Turk need to sit down and have a conversation without all of the damn estrogen. These men, they ain't supposed to have no estrogen, but that's what's going on, right? And let these two brothers talk this out, and whatever offenses BG feel like that he committed against him, he need to talk to him about it. BG said he ain't carrying nobody. I think Turk has enough talent to carry himself, but I think it with all of them together, they can make money, right? Turk has a family. That's what black folks do now. They just like the evil one. If you don't bow down to me, you ain't gonna eat. And that's the reasons why that everybody end up crashing out, because you have to reap what you sow. But that's kind of what I pick up on that. Okay, leave them alone. Let them boys get hey, Wack kind of pulled Turk in. He kind of put him in a snake wrap. What do you call it? The death wrap. He did that on purpose because he was going at BG. And you know what's so weird is they say Wack and Birdman is real tight. Now Birdman say BG is this little son. So why was Wack feeling comfortable enough to go at BG? See, that was around the time that BG was he had just gotten out, and I think BG wanted to do some stuff on his own, and maybe Birdman wasn't happy with that. And he had his folks in the media going at BG. BG don't need to forget that. Because see, people will try to wrap you up and pay folks to go at you when you ain't doing, you don't be their little son then. They try to put you in that death rap and put you in a bad position when you don't do what they want you to do. And I think these folks need to remember that, okay? But anyways, you guys, I was just giving my point of view on it. I hope these brothers can work it out. Okay. I think that everybody that talks about it, I don't think that they're talking about it in any malice, but some that talking about it, it may be. And I think people need to rethink what they do, especially if it ain't right, because you sure gonna reap what you sow. Anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.